We're here at the 13th Annual Dallas International Film Festival with the lovely ladies from Building the American Dream. Ladies, if you'll introduce yourselves.
I'm Chelsea Hernandez. I'm the director of the film.
Hi, and I'm Marisol Medrano. I'm the producer of Building the American Dream.
So as far as, was there a particular family that y'all met first, a particular person? Like, where did the lineage of how y'all met everyone, how did that come about?
Sure. So I found the Workers' Defense Project, a Texas organization fighting for construction workers' rights, and some friends of mine were volunteering for the organization, and I learned more about them, and then met Marisol soon after, and we decided to sit in on some of the member meetings that they had weekly to understand what they were going through, some issues that workers were facing overall, and that was how we met a few families along the way. We met more families that we couldn't focus on entirely in the film, but we met the Granillo family who lost their son to heat stroke on the job as we were filming. I think we were about like a year into production, and we met the Granillo family. Their son had just passed away. And so we started following them. And then Christian, we met pretty early on and got to know him for a couple years before we started filming with him. And then the Golinelli family, we just kept seeing Claudia talking at these protests and rallies, and we're just like, she is amazing, a female electrician. She just had a really powerful voice and was really inspiring, and so we asked to start filming with her, and then things started unfolding with people's lives as we kept filming with them over the past 5 years.
Let's talk about South by, what that reaction must have been like, and obviously this film is Texan, but I think being in Austin in particular, it's a wonderful way to kind of shout the film out, something that so many people may just gloss over. I think everyone sees construction in Texas throughout so much, and we never think of the people behind it. South by was such a perfect stepping point. Can y'all talk about that experience?
Yeah, sure, and jump in whenever you want. I don't want to hog the microphone, but it was really special to play it at South by Southwest, considering the whole film takes place in Texas, and being able to premiere at a top tier festival also gave it some credibility as well as a film. And then I think it was just really special to be able to screen the film at a theater with South by Southwest and be able to bring the families there. They're all really powerful in their own selves, and they speak out. They're activists, but I think they hadn't experienced something that big in a sense. So I think for them it was a little terrifying to go up on stage at this theater and speak in front of people, but I think they realized the power of their voice and the platform that they had. So I don't know if you would.
And I think in addition to that, Chelsea and I are both from Austin, and then we've been seeing South by grow, and a lot of the growth of the city is due to South by. So seeing that momentum, and then being able to premiere in our backyard was very special, because then also the community was able to come out and come to the screenings as well, and then having our subjects come from Dallas to Austin as well was a great experience for them as well, like Chelsea mentioned. So overall, it was very, a very great welcoming from the community, from everybody, from the South by, great reviews afterwards. So we have been having a really great momentum.
And what was it like hearing that you'd be here at DIF, and if you want to expand on your knowledge or experience here at DIF?
We were really excited to come here. I had a short film play here last year and wasn't able to make it, but it was great to come here with this film, considering half the film takes place here. And there's a pretty momentous scene with the Dallas City Council in the film, and there's a couple people who are fighting against the rest breaks, fighting against 10 minutes for a rest break for construction workers in front of the family who lost their son. And so we were really excited to be able to share that with the Dallas community, to see how things maybe work here if people don't see that too often, and hopefully maybe rile a few feathers up. I'm all about disruption, so and we had our first screening yesterday, and we had some really good conversations with people afterwards who are based here, and they were angry and wanted to learn more about the rest break ordinance. So I think the film is sparking those conversations of our local city government.
And I would also say for our subjects, I mean, they'll be coming in tonight to our screening as well. And, they're from Dallas. So then them being able to see the film with their family, with their community, with their environment, in their town is something very special for them as well.
Can we talk about that ordinance and the fact that it's not that something massive is being asked of construction, community. It's amazing how asking something so small has caused such a crazy outcry from that opposition view. Can y'all talk about just how that's got to be wild to look at it and be like, it's 10-minute break, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I was the only person filming there during the city council meeting because I didn't think anything was really going to happen. And when they were saying this stuff in front of the family, I couldn't believe, this was a public space. It was being recorded publicly, not just by me, but the local government. So these council members knew that people were looking at them and hearing what they had to say. So I was a little shocked. Doing a lot of research on the construction industry while filming this movie, I knew the other side and why politicians are against a lot of these ordinances and regulations, but that was so blatant, and it was just proof that this really is the Wild West, and the lack of regulations is real, and there is a large base here in Texas that wants to keep those regulations low. But that was what was great about making this film, is being able to show that, I think a lot of people do understand that it's only 10 minutes, and being connected with the families and seeing how it's affecting them is really getting through to audiences to know that, it's not much for a 10-minute rest break. I don't think it's going to hurt business that much,
Especially not something that's, it seems the impact of not having it, what it's done to families that we get to see in the film. I'd love to know how this film process has changed y'all and the way y'all look at the world and Texas in particular.
I mean, us being females, and then also the construction industry tends to be a very male-dominated field, and being allowed to come into those spaces. And I think that for me personally, it kind of it's an eye-opener, seeing from something that we all can relate to, and all the construction that goes around, and then seeing the price of that, and the injustices that happen behind it. I think that that's something that it was very powerful. And connecting and seeing the families that are going through this journey and the struggles every day, and then they wake up every morning, and all they want is to provide to their families and come home and for their children to have a better future. I think that was something that was very special, at least for me.
Yeah, for me, I think I was so inspired by all of these families, the resilience that they have to fight against people who are against safety conditions in the construction industry, and people who may lack certain protections from for not being a citizen, but are out there on the front lines fighting for what they deserve. And so all the people that are featured in our film were just so inspiring to me. And I think also it made me realize that whatever troubles I'm going through is not as bad as maybe a construction worker who is not being paid or working in extreme heat or extreme weather conditions. So it made me really appreciate construction workers that are building the city around us.
Well, ladies, thank you for the time, and thank you for a great title, by the way. I think it's aptly put, Building the American Dream. I think it's perfect. So thank you for bringing it to North Texas. And like you said, we're kind of the second family for this film, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you.